Mike the Scrapping Guy, and I'm here with another quick video tutorial for you. And what I'm going to show you in this tutorial video is how to create a bubble background that you can see on this layout, and it's great for any kind of digital scrapbooking layout for bath time, or if you have something going swimming or washing a car, or any kind of layout that has to do with bubbles and water and things like that. So you're going to be amazed how easy it is to create this kind of paper background, and the embellishments I may load them up on my website, and then you can use those too. But like I said, for this video tutorial, I just want to show you how to make the bubbles background, and it's very, very simple to do in Adobe Photoshop, or even Photoshop's Element 7, which is what I'm going to be showing you how to use it here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to go over to one of my favorite websites, brusheezy.com. And it's www.brusheezy.com. And this website has a bunch of different brushes and patterns and things that you can download and use with Adobe Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. And what I want to do is look for a brush that looks like bubbles. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the brushes tab there, and go over to the search and type in bubbles. And then we have a couple of different ones you can download. So in order to install the brushes, all you need to do is click on the one that you want to download, hit the download button, and save it to your anywhere on your desktop or in a folder. And some of them are zip files, and some of them are the actual ABR, the brush files. And if it's a zip file, all you need to do is unzip it, and you want to go to your Explorer. Let me bring it over here. The place you want to install it is if you go to your program files in Adobe, and wherever you have your Adobe Photoshop or Photoshop Elements folder set up or installed, click on that folder or to open it up, and then you want to scroll down to the presets folder. And then within the presets folder, there is the brushes folder, and that's where you go and you want to download and load in the brush that you brought over from Brusheezy. So I've already done that with the bubbles one myself, so I'm not going to go ahead and do it again. But anyway, like I said, you want to drill down to eventually the brushes folder, which is in the installation folder of your Adobe Photoshop or Elements program. So let me go ahead and get out of there. Now I'm back to my Photoshop Element 7. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new blank file that's 12 by 12, 300 dot resolution, and go ahead and hit OK. What I need to do first is create the blue gradient background that I have that's basically the water. So I'm going to go over to my color little swatches, and I'm going to pick a blue, kind of a nice little bit of a darker blue for the first one. Actually, that looks a little more of a purple blue. Let me go to a regular blue color. There we go. And I want to create kind of a similar blue, but I want it to be a little bit lighter, so we can make it kind of a gradient. And then to create the gradient, I'm going to go over to my gradient tool. I want to make sure that the swatch that's selected are the two color swatches that I have down there, and I want to make sure that the radial gradient is the one that's selected. And it doesn't have to be. What I like to do is just create kind of a center that's a little bit lighter, go into a darker that's on the outside. So there we have it. We have a little bit of a bright blue in the center, and it slowly graduates down into a darker blue on the edges. And like I said, that's just my preference. You can certainly use the linear gradients or any of the other gradients, but this is the one that I chose. So now what I need to do is go ahead and create my bubbles. I'm going to go over to my Layers palette, click New Layer. I'm going to go over to my brush tool, and I'm going to go up to my brushes, and right now I just have the basic brushes loaded in. What I'm going to do is create, or actually load in the bubbles brushes, which is here. And if you just installed them from Brusheezy, all you need to do is go over to where the little double arrows are, go down to Load Brushes, and then go to the folder that has the brush that you downloaded and click on it, and it will load it into your brushes area. So there we have the different kind of little bubbles that are in this particular brush. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click one of them, and what I want to do is have the bubbles actually a white color. So I'm going to change my swatch back to white, and I'm going to start putting these bubbles randomly on the page, and what I can do is I can use my left and right bracket keys on the keyboard, which is a little bit above the enter key on your keyboard. I can increase and decrease the size of the bubbles. I'm just going to randomly put them in here just to kind of show you how easy it is to do. You can create little clusters of them just by making little small ones. Kind of put little ones around, overlap them a little bit. Put some small ones down here. Just slowly clicking them around, like so. And it's that easy. Brushes are one of the coolest things that you can use when creating your own digital papers. And Brush Easy has a zillion of them. I'm sure I'll be coming out with even more tutorials on the different papers, or the different brushes that you can download to create papers with. So you can obviously go ahead, and if you don't want just all white bubbles, you can go and you can change the color to other color bubbles. Like maybe pick like a little bit of a darker blue. Put a couple of those around. And different colors. You can go like that. And you just go crazy with this brush, just clicking them everywhere, changing the sizes. Like I said, I just kind of randomly did it. If you're into more patterns, you can certainly create a pattern of bubbles coming out. And let's say you have like a fish tank kind of a layout. You can create bubbles just kind of coming out of the old treasure chest that you normally see in the fish tanks. So there's really no limit to what you can do with a bubbles brush and in the Adobe Photoshop. And that's it. It's that easy. Just go ahead and download a bubbles brush from Brush Easy, load it into your Adobe Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, and start clicking some random bubbles on your design, and you have a really cool looking bubbles layout digital background paper.